I came to this country as asylum seeker, fleeing from Algeria, where there is big conflict there. I start to learn English, go to the college, have a normal life, and carry on my study. And I got married, and then we've been blessed with the first daughter. It was a normal life. I thought Britain is a paradise. I thought I will have some dignity. I thought I will be safe. My family will be secure. I'm coming to spend the rest of my life here. I will be okay. I will be happy. I will have full my human rights. They will help me because I am disabled. You can see I have a polio affecting my physical. So I'm in the wheelchair for many years. It is very difficult. My polio affected me back home, severe, very severe. I cannot walk. I feel pain in my leg, in my joint, in my back. I cannot do things normal as people do. So my wife, she was doing everything for me, cooking for me. If I go to the toilet, for example, she will help me to get from the wheelchair to the toilet seat. You need someone every day, every minute, every 1 hour with you, helping you in a basic thing. 2001, they raided my house. My wife screaming, my daughter shouting. And it was nearly 20 officers. They didn't ask me question why, because there is no charge there. This act of 2001 is act that they can arrest anyone for no trial, no charge. They take me to Belmarsh prison straight away, directly, no police, no interview, no charge. My wife, they were very aggressive to her. They shout at her. My daughter was screaming, shouting at her. She didn't react. She was crying with my daughter. And it was very shocking. I didn't expect police British or with us as they have done. Yeah. I have no idea what's going on. I tell you, my daughter screaming, my wife screaming. Me, I was completely shocked. There is no word to describe the scene. They didn't allow me to talk to my wife or to talk to my daughter or hug as a human being, you are allowed to hug your wife or to hug your daughter because you are going to prison. If I am going to the police station, maybe a few days I will spend and come back home. But when they tell me you are going to prison, I tell to myself, this is serious. I'm going to prison. What does it mean? I didn't know that there is a law at that time taking people to prison straight away. So I want to touch my daughter. I want to hug her. I couldn't. They didn't allow me. And it was depression and I don't know, sadness and depression, and to prevent me to kiss my daughter or to hug her or to hug my wife. It was very depressed. Yeah, very depressed. I tell them, can you tell me where I'm going? What charge against me? What allegation against me? They were aggressive. They said, no, just shut up. You are not allowed to call your solicitor and you are going to prison. I tell them, which prison? Can you tell me which prison for my wife to visit me? For my daughter to visit me? But they didn't tell me. You know, when you see this kind of raids, people will doubt you. Even you are innocent. We are guilty before you are found innocent. People start to be scared. And the people who were very close friend to me and very close to my wife, they just make a distance. We cannot help them. We cannot we cannot support this family. Why? Because this family are under investigation, are under security service are there. Security service are watching them. The Home Office are watching them. We cannot approach this family. Let's finish. They cut any relation with me and my friends, with my wife and her friends. We've been isolated for many years. I can't tell you the side effect until now. Until now we are suffering because what they have done back 19 years ago, 20 years. Imagine a daughter, even she was small, but I was worried for her because why? My wife, she cannot just herself look after my daughter. Any children here, they need a father and mother with them. Even physically support, I cannot because of the wheelchair, but there is a moral support to my daughter, talking to her, hugging her, caring for her, doing such things as a father. But I was banned from this. She was until now, she's 22 years. She had that side effect. And she remember how the police came, how she was screaming. But she lived nearly 5 years without a father. This is a prison inside a prison, segregation. And there is, inside Belmarsh, there is a unit, very restricted. 23 hours you are inside your cell. They destroy my life. I remember I nearly hung myself. This is another experience, hung myself because of the depression I have. I was very sad. I didn't expect myself to be in that place in the unit For a few years. For a few years, it was a nightmare. We were banned from praying Friday, Jumu'ah. We were banned from association. But 23 hours, 22 hours, you are in your cell. In my cell, I can do nothing. That's why I develop depression and stress. I'm in the wheelchair, sitting in a single cell, small cell. There is a sink, there is a toilet there where you sit, your bed, and that's all. And you live, remember, you live in this cell, single cell, for 3-4 years. We were, in these 5 years, we were treated less than animals. You cannot see the sky, you cannot breathe fresh air, you are not allowed to have anything. I developed depression, serious depression. And this depression, by time, they start to give me tablet. But there in prison, you press the button, you talk to the officers through a small window. I am sick, can you call the doctor to see me, please? He will not come to you. He will say 1 hour, sometimes he will ignore you until the next day. You cannot complain. Even you complain, I complain. You complain, nothing. You cannot have any solution from them because you are just in circle. And this circle will going on without solution. So it was very hard for me to have my medicine, as for my physical medicine and my mental medicine. It was very hard for me, challenge. I have to fight for everything. Everything you have to scream, to shout, it's struggle, a big struggle. Because these people have no mercy. I was pushed one day. But when you talk to your solicitor, there is no evidence. There is no CCTV. If there is a CCTV in some area, they will say it was switched off. They will cover up any incident happen inside Belmarsh. You're just killing yourself or adding stress to yourself, sadness to yourself. That's why it's horrible. It's horrible. I cannot describe. One day I remember I said to myself, finish. I have no hope to come out. It's indefinite. I cannot fight my case. And I said, this is the end of it. I need to finish my life. I need to finish my life because I have no hope to come out from prison. I know I am Muslim, I cannot end up my life. But in that time I remember I have no brain functioning properly. I swear by Allah, I will describe it as Guantanamo, second Guantanamo. There is Guantanamo here, it's Belmarsh, but secret Guantanamo or hidden Guantanamo. And it comes that I nearly take my soul. I take my soul, yeah. It is nearly 1 year to see her. The first visit wasn't face-to-face visit. It was under screen. I have the phone and she have a phone over there. I cannot talk to my wife, so the officer have to open the door and sit with us in the room where there is a window screen, yeah, see through. I cannot say something or touch my daughter or touch or hug my wife, and he was sitting there listening to everything that we are saying. It was disaster. It add to me more sickness, more depression, more anxiety, more sadness. It was very bad, very low bad mood. Because my wife told me in the first visit that no one helping her. I was very worried. No one will help her. The friendship that she have, it cut off. She have no benefit that time, and she was struggling about the house, about benefit, about the finance. She told me no one can drop her by car to come to visit me. She have to take the train and bus and a long journey to come to Belmarsh. It was struggle for her and my daughter. Yeah. When your wife cannot see you, you cannot help her, you cannot be with her at home, you cannot be with your daughter. My wife, she said to me, how long you will stay there? Did he charge you or not? I will say, they didn't charge me. Is there court or not? I said, there is no court. She told me, okay, how long I will wait for you? How long I will be patient? You know, she is a wife, she is a human being. The gap between me and my wife start to increase because of the restriction, because of the visit. And I felt her patience ran out. My patience is, I am finished. I cannot hold it. I cannot carry on like that. I felt from her what she wants. I am stuck inside. And then it was minimized to one visit every 2 weeks, and then once 1 month, once 2 months, and there is no one to drop her to me and to take her. It was a nightmare for her, and the gap started to become bigger and bigger. I remember many Ramadan with my wife and kids. It was eating together, going to the Taraweeh, have some good, lovely time with them, going together to the masjid to pray together. We fast together, we breakfast together. But it was nightmare. I spent Ramadan in the cell, in my cell. no prayer, no tarawih. Our tarawih inside the single cell. Ramadan is a nightmare inside the prison. My wife, same thing. She spent her Ramadan nearly herself, no one with her. She break fast herself. She is very isolated from the people they know, and it was nightmare for her. Even her, she went through mental stress, and difficulties. Yeah. My wife, I can describe is prison for her, because no one helping her, no one standing for her, no one giving her a moral support or a physical support. No one. It's prison for her. Yes, I call it prison. Yeah. I don't know the evidence against me. It's all secret. I don't have trial, because my solicitor cannot see the evidence against me. It was a shocking moment, because I didn't think that the Britain I'm coming to ask asylum seeker and shelter, running from dictatorship, I will find paradise here. But it was hell for me, hell for my wife, hell for me. Word, wallah, sometimes I cannot describe it. Word cannot describe the thing that I went through. I was the first one being granted bail because of my physical and mental issues, and it was very restricted bail. 24 hours at home, no mobile. The mobile of my wife have to be switched off. I cannot talk to anyone except my wife and my daughter. This is nearly 1 year until the House of Lords ruled that this is unjust law. No computer, no visitors. Even the solicitor have to be cleared to come to visit. I remember the washing machine broke down. We were fighting for weeks and weeks for the company to come, because the company, they cannot come to visit to fix the washing machine, and they have to send the name that the guy they came to be approved to come to inside the house. So it was delayed for many weeks and weeks, and we stay with no washing machine. Every 3 hours, 4 hours, I have to call the company, tagging company, report that I am in the house. Even I am 24 hours in the house, I cannot come out. If I step outside the house, this is a breach of the condition. I can return to prison. I was a little happy about coming out from that hell, Belmarsh hell. At least to see my wife and my daughter. But it was very, very restricted, very, very high restricted condition in that 1 year. My solicitor asked for some relaxation. Let him have 1 hour in the garden. She applied to the Home Office. Okay, this guy, he's sick, physically and mentally. Can you give him at least 1 hour? They rejected. I wasn't allowed to go to the garden. We stayed just few weeks. We want to enjoy some freedom because of that years, suffering years. They arrest us again. They say these people risk to the public, and we arrest them again. We have to deport them in their own country. So they label you as a tourist, and they destroy your life and your family life. And then now they want to send us back home to have another torture. They put all of us inside these units, and another nightmare. We didn't finish with the Belmarsh nightmare. I didn't finish with the homeless nightmare. And then I went to another nightmare. I spent nearly 1 year in Long Lartin. Same story in Belmarsh, same story. Mental issue, physical, suffering for the medical to get my medicine, the food, the prayer, the same thing. Daily suffering. The judge was obliged again to give me a bail. When they told me back home Algeria, I ran from Algeria, because in Algeria I will lose my life there. They will torture me physically. The British are very good in mental torture, but back home is Algeria. They will torture me physically and mentally, if not finish me and kill me. Secondly, I ran from Algeria to Britain to secure my life. Thirdly, I will lose my family. My wife and my daughter will be here. I will be in Algeria. The risk to my family in Algeria. Because my mom, I remember my mom every time told me, before the prison told me, do not come back, because the security services are around there. They will ask about me. They took my father, they interviewed him for 2 hours. They said to him, your son, what he's doing in Britain, tell him to come to Algeria. Because Algeria, they will torture me. They will, even many people in Algeria in the 90s and in that time, been killed in Sahara, been in prison for 20, 30 years. But this government, they want to push me by force to go back home. I cannot back home, and I can do nothing. And I fear for myself, and I fear for my daughter and my wife. She will be here herself. I cannot come here. She cannot go to Algeria. It's difficult for her. They accept her to be there. It was a disaster. It was disaster. Yeah. After these years of torture, and I cannot forget it forever, and side effect is on me now and in my family. I felt little happiness, because I was scared that they will arrest us again, because they done it once and twice. They can do it again and again. And I was happiness with sadness and with fear, yeah. Before my tag come out, the Hags approached my wife. And I wasn't thinking that any organization can help us, because everyone frightened. So Hags, They approach my wife, and tell her, we can help you morally, financially, we can do everything for you, care for your daughter, care for you. In Long Larton, it was difficult for her. She approached Hags, and they paid for many visits. It's 2 hours, 3 hours drive. Jazakumullah khair so much. They were very kind, very polite. I tell them I need all sort of help. So they start to involve with me and with my family. They done a lot of things. Wallahi, I feel surprised. And my moral go up and up. I cannot imagine. I was very happy and relief because relationship cut off. People are run away from us. People are scared. But when they came to us, it was a big relief, a big enjoyment, a big delighted. I thought I'm the only one. They said, no. We help a lot of people like you. I was shocked. I was very happy. They come home. They get some sisters and people to have a relationship with my wife. Because I tell you, my wife have completely lost her friend. They try to help me to find some friends from Hags and other people to visit me, to support me. Thanks so much to them. A monthly voucher to me and to my daughter and to my wife, or you buy clothes or food. I remember that time we have a lot of bills we cannot pay. I am not working. My wife, she cannot work because she care for me. I cannot work. I'm in the wheelchair and I have mental issues. So I have electricity bill, water bill, phone bill. They brought fridge for me, a new fridge for me, a new washing machine. I cannot drive. My wife that time, she couldn't drive or have financial to pay for the driver license. Jazakumullah khair, straight away they pay for her all fees to have a driver license. So at least we can, when there is a car, it's easy for us to do things, go into the hospital. So it will be easy for us. I put him in madrasa 5 to 7. I tell them, can you please pay the fees of 2 children? Straight away, they tell us, yes, we can help you, of course. My son, he used to play karate, and he still want to carry on, and we were struggling with the karate fees, which give him some enjoy, he will forget about the second rest, and he will just give him peace of mind. It was Eid gifts to the children and to my wife and to me. MashaAllah, in Eid day they will bring halal meat for us. I remember the cake, even this Eid, the support still continue. I thought one day they will cut the support, but the support until now, they invite us for many events and many meetings. We enjoy the social life with others. I have no words to describe their support, moral support and physical support. The only one, I tell them, I cannot reward you. I tell them no one can reward you except Allah. I pray for them daily, and I wish they will carry on this work forever, inshallah. Through all this suffering, I didn't think that no one can help us, but they come in a time that I lost hope. I nearly lost my mind. My wife was suffering. In all this year, they still helping us. So I will recommend hugs to everyone and be with them. The work of Hags is important, of course, because Muslims here are suffering. Jazakumullah khair so much, Hags. Allah reward you. Allah give you patience and give you strength to carry on this work. Please don't stop. Please, I beg you, don't stop this work. We are with you. We are with our dua. I urge everyone to support Hags. Please support Hags financially. The only charity organization stand with us is Hags.